Fine. Okay. So, yeah, good evening, everybody. Good evening, good evening. Please, if you can hear me loud and clear, just give me a thumbs up so that if you can hear me loud and clear, just give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me louder. Very good. Okay, good evening, everybody. It's so good to see all of us here. Good evening. And apologies, sincere apologies on behalf of the organizers as well. Sincere apologies that we are just starting at this very point in time. Okay, so today we're just quickly going to take a look at one important topic actually, and we're going to be looking at from chalkboard to online teaching. Okay, so I'm just coming just a minute so that I can just share my screen. Okay, so be looking at launching your online teaching career. So launching your online teaching career from chalkboard to keyboard, launching your online teaching career. And so I would just love to start from this part by saying that actually for online teaching, it's not something that is for everybody. It's meant for those who are willing to put in the work. But of course, for online tutoring, you definitely find out that now most people are now transitioning into online teaching. And then you get to see most people are actually transitioning into online teaching. And then you get to see that for those who have not really started, I feel that there's a whole lot of work to do in terms of your getting some of the required skills, in terms of getting some of the required gadgets, in terms of putting some things in place so that you can function well. And so it's something that you can also do in terms of having a side hustle, and so it may not really require you to leave your physical teaching job. But of course, you can as well just have it as a side also, just to support yourself. Because the truth is, you can't depend on salary alone. Yeah, salary alone cannot do anything. Salary alone cannot do anything. Salary alone cannot, honestly, salary alone, if you it cannot do anything. I could still remember back then when I was still in the classroom, even before salary came, it's gone. It's gone. So it's never enough. But of course, you can diversify. The 21st century teachers are teachers who are willing to diversify. The 21st century teachers are teachers who are also willing to give impact. And so for online teaching, so when we talk about launching your online teaching career, so you can have it like please, I want to share my screen. Please just permit me to share screen. So you can have it, like a sort
Okay.
of, okay. So like I was saying, you can actually have it um like a sort of a side hustle, how I've said, you can have it like a sort of side hustle. And then for those who are just hearing about online tutoring and then they're like, oh, they fear of when am I going to start or where, yeah, the time is now. The time is now. It's now for you to, if you want to start. So I'm just going to start with asking few questions. Now, what comes to your mind when you hear the word online tutoring? What do you think we even do in terms of online teaching, in online tutoring? What do you think we do? Please, I would love to read your chart. I would love to hear from you. What do you think online tutoring is all about? When we talk about online tutoring, online teaching, what is it all about? What does it entail? What can you say? What comes to your mind? What can you say about it in terms of, you know, online teaching? Yeah, I'm sure teachers, you've heard about online tutoring. You might You have friends, you have colleagues, you have people who are doing this. And so maybe as a full-time job, or yeah, you might have seen some people on the street of Instagram, or you might have seen some people on the net, or you might have seen some people maybe either on TikTok. And then you are like, what are these ones even doing? What is online tutoring? So what does it mean? What does it mean to you when you hear the word online tutoring? What does it mean? What does it really entail? I, I would love to hear from you. Let me just see. Okay. So, someone is saying teaching without physical touch. Okay. Educating learners, but using technologies, and it requires more skills than the physical classroom. That's fine. Yes. I also need more responses, please. If not, I'm going to be calling our names. Okay. I'm seeing Mr. Kojo is saying that it is teaching learners remotely. Okay. Teaching learners remotely. Yes. Which other word again? Yes. Anybody? Does anybody have any other thing that they want to say? Online teaching, online tutoring. What comes to your mind when you hear the word online tutoring? Yes, anybody? Okay, someone is still saying virtual teaching, teaching students, okay, teaching learners with technology. Thank you so much, everyone, for sending in your responses. Okay, virtual teaching, teaching learners with technology. So when you teach learners with technology, in terms of infusing technology into what you do. So let me start by saying that the 21st century teachers that infuse technology into what they do. The 21st century teachers are teachers that that are not stereotyped. The 21st century teachers are teachers, because the kind of learners that we have now, I'm telling you, if you're not careful, you see a child, of 3 years, a child of 4 years can operate phone. Pa, 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 they can operate phone. A child of 5 years old, they even know more than their dads in terms of operating devices. And so the children that we have right now, they are kids in such a way that if a teacher is not that they're kids in such a way that if a teacher is not that solid, if a teacher is not that grounded, I tell you, they may just shove them one side and push them aside. And it won't really say well about you. It won't really talk well about you. And so for 21st century teachers, we have a whole lot of work to do. I'm talking about teachers now. We have a whole lot of work to do, because if you really want to impact, if you really want to do so much, you want to impact, in terms of your knowledge, in terms of your competency, you have a whole lot of work to do in those regards. And so, for you to fully explore online tutoring, you have to be someone who has a tech skill. You have to be someone who has a knowledge of technology. You should be able to make use of your device to teach. You should be able to type. You find out that teachers, you still find out that we still have some teachers in this profession, they don't know how to type. You still find out that we have some teachers, they don't know how to type. They don't know how to type. They can't type. They can't prepare PowerPoint slide. They can't prepare PowerPoint slide. They can't type. They don't even know anything about operating system. They don't know anything about how to operate a computer system. And all of these things, it still boils down to the fact that equipping ourselves boils down to the fact that getting the required skill in terms of teaching online. So you can tick that box if you have the knowledge of operating a computer. You know how to operate a computer. You know how to start a device. You know how to do this. You know how to do that. That is one phase. That is one aspect that you've ticked. Now, it now borders down to the fact that what video conferencing app do you want to use? To the use of your virtual whiteboard, to the use of, to engagement skills, because those are the two things that are actually very important. And I do say this as an online tutor. If you really want to thrive in this space, you need to have two things that are important: the skill, the skill of engagement, and then how to use whiteboard. Of course, if you go into the physical classroom, you're going to use your board to teach. You use your board to teach. If you go and if you're seeking employment into any school, definitely they will do tests for you. They will ask you to do micro teaching, and when they ask you to do micro teaching, they'll give you marker. You're going to teach. You're going to teach on the board. You teach. You're going to test your skill. You're going to test your skill. You're going to teach. So the same way as you are doing in a physical classroom, then you would have to learn your virtual whiteboard. And so if you are good in the classroom, it doesn't really mean that you can be good in the if you are good in the classroom, it doesn't really mean that you're going to be good in the remote space. It doesn't really mean that you're going to be good in the online tutoring world. It's not the same at all. They are two different things entirely. You can become the best teacher. You can become the teacher of the year twice. Teacher of the year, getting it back to back. And then in online tutoring, you are dragging your feet because it's a whole, it's a different thing entirely. So it's a different thing entirely. It's a different thing entirely. And today, we're going to be taking a look at those processes. We're going to be taking a look at how do you want to start. You want to venture into online tutoring. You want to launch your teaching career into the remote world. What are those things that you need to do? How do you get started? What are those things that you want to do in terms of tapping into online teaching? Because the truth is, online teaching is the oil money now. It is the oil money. You can sit in the comfort of your home, and then you would see that it pays. It pays more. It pays more than going for the physical. It pays more than going for home lesson. It pays. It pays. Just use it as a side hustle. Use it as a side hustle, and then when you have it as a side hustle, it's really going to help you out in terms of your in terms of your finances. And
Good
so,
evening, sir. Welcome.
how do we
Auntie
get
Nwe,
started?
watermelon, hebebe.
I don't know. How do we, please, can we just mute our mic so that we can hear ourselves? So how do we get started? So what does it entail? What does it mean in terms of, from chalkboard to keyboard, from chalkboard to virtual whiteboard? What does it mean? How do we go about it? If you want to start, a lot of us, some people are still, they are still lost in terms of how do we get started? How do we start? How can I start teaching online? I don't know how to start. What do I need to do? How do I, what tools, what things do I need to do? And this is basically a few of the things that we are going to be taking a look at for today. And so here, if you're already a teacher, one of the things when people ask me, when people come for mentorship session, when they say, oh, they want me to teach them in terms of, I ask them first, are you a teacher? Because if you are a teacher, if you have taught a child before, if you have taught, it will be easier for you to transition in this online space. So that's one of the first questions. That's one of the questions that I ask. Are you a teacher? Do you teach? Have you been a teacher before? Are you a teacher? Because the truth is, your classroom skills it's already there for you. It's there for you to transfer those skills. It is transferable in terms of you being in the classroom, in terms of you teach the children, you are aware of their learning strategies, you are aware of their emotional strategies, of their emotional skills, you are aware of different strategies that you can use in such a way that to impact, in such a way that you want to teach these children effectively, and you want to become that very person effective teacher. So if you have been in the classroom, of course, it's easier for you to teach. All you just need to do, how are you now going to incorporate those skills? How are you now going to incorporate some of those skills that the tech skills, infusing technology into the classroom, infusing technology into what you do? And that's just it. So for your classroom, if you are being a teacher, it's really going to be easier because you plan. You do instructional design. You do instructional design. You turn lesson. You plan from the curriculum. You can plan your lessons from the curriculum. You can plan your lessons. So it's really going to be easier because in doing that, you can turn your standard, and then your lesson plans into clear online learning experiences. So if you have been in the classroom, it is easier for you to transition. Why? Because you know the learning objectives. You know these kids. You've had different experiences in terms of teaching these children. You know their learning disabilities. You know the learning strategies in which you want to use in such a way that the children would actually get what you want to teach. And so these are what we are saying. So that is why uh, that is that is why you see that it's very important that if you are using this classroom and then you are moving away, you are transitioning from the classroom into the online, into the virtual tutoring. It's easier for you to do that. Why? Because if I've been a teacher before, you already have that experience. Okay. Now, in terms of engagement, when we talk about engagement has to do with it's just your normal way of you asking the children question, the normal way of interacting. Of course, you can't be that one teacher who is going to teach you have 40 minutes lessons, or you have 1 hour lessons, or you have at most 40 minutes, 40 minutes lessons. Your 40-minute lessons, you are not the only person who is going to be talking. You're not trying to use like a sort of a lecture method. You're trying to use like a sort of a method in such a way that you are carrying the children along, and then they are feeling you. They are getting whatever concepts, whatever things that you are teaching them. And so the engagement, it covers in terms of using questioning method. It covers in terms of getting their feedbacks. It covers in terms of using different strategies, different activities just to keep your learners involved. And so you definitely have to keep learners involved, and which is one of the skills that has been there for you in the classroom, which is one of the skills that you have in the classroom. You can't tell me that out of your 40 minutes lesson, you're always the only person who is going to be talking. You can't tell me that out of your either 40 minutes lessons or out of your 30-minute lesson, you'll be the only one who is going to be talking from morning to night. No, you are asking the children. There's a sort of assessment. There's a sort of feedback that you are getting from the children in such a way that your learning objective is met, in such a way that that target for that day is met. When I was still in the physical classroom, every day I used to draw a plan. And then I used to ask myself, what have I achieved today? I used to ask the children too, before you leave, ask yourself, what have you achieved today? What have you achieved today? So for those children, as a teacher as well, for engagement, you have to engage the children. It now depends on which of the strategies that you would love to use so that the children will be able to get whatever concept that you want to teach them. Another skill that you already have too as a teacher, okay, we are looking at in terms of what some of those skills that you already have as a teacher, which can help you transition into online teaching. And so if I've been a teacher, just like I said a few minutes ago, like I said, if I've been a teacher, it's you're not really going to struggle because you have that experience. You've been in classroom, you've been teaching children, and they've been getting whatever concept that you want to do. But it's just that the way you treat online tutoring and the way we treat physical classroom, those two things are different, but they do have similarities. In terms of classroom management as well, in terms of classroom management as well, what things are you doing in such a way that the behind the scenes in terms of controlling your class, in terms of giving directive, in terms of your learning objectives are actually met through children's and behavior. So the classroom management skill, definitely. You are also going to be transferring this skill as well into the virtual world. You're going to be transferring this skill into the online space. You can't tell me you're going to be in a class and then the child is disturbing your class. If you have ever taught a group class before, you know what I'm talking about, that group classes are hard, are the hardest to teach. They are always the hardest to teach, especially if you find yourself in group classes where you have children that they don't take the instruction. You are sharing your screen, somebody is annotating. You are sharing your screen, somebody is disturbing. You are sharing your screen, somebody is muting mic unnecessarily. So your classroom management, how you've been able to curtail those children in the class. You are teaching a large class of 40, you are teaching a large class of 50. Of course, you've been able to curtail those children in such a way that they listen to you. You've been able to curtail those children in such a way that they hear you. You've been able to curtail those children to curb their excesses in such a way that when you teach, the leasing. And so the classroom management is coming in such a way that you are transferring it as well into the virtual space, into the online tutoring space. And so instructional design, the skill of engagement, and then the classroom management. These are already transferable skills. These are skills that you have that can be transferred. So these are skills that can be what? That can be transferred. Okay. Now we are still going to look at other skills as well. But I'm just saying that the ones that you have, because you are a teacher, that can be transferred. So it now depends on whichever you now want to take a look at in terms of the engagement now, in terms of the use of your virtual whiteboard, because they are not the same. You need to learn how to use virtual whiteboard. So in terms of the use of your virtual whiteboard, in terms of your video conferencing, because which video conferencing app do you want to use? How conversant are you in terms of your video conferencing? In terms of Meet, do you know how to use Google Meet? Do you know how to use Zoom? Do you know how to use Microsoft Teams? Because that is the avenue. That is that platform. It is that platform where the children will come and meet you. The children are coming to meet you. You are not a type that uses WhatsApp to teach. If you're still using WhatsApp to teach, you have to step up. Some of us, we've left you behind. I could remember back then during COVID, when we were still using WhatsApp to teach, we'll type message, we'll send a message, we're going to lock the group chat, and then we'll be sending messages, we'll be sending voice notes, sending a worksheet for the children. No, online tutoring has gone beyond that now. It has gone beyond where children will not be able to see you. That is why you see sometimes when clients, they reach out to you, they're always asking questions in terms of what is the mode? What mode are we using to teach? What mode do you want to use to teach? Are you going to be using WhatsApp to teach? Is it a video conferencing? You let them know. It's a video conferencing where the teacher sees the child and the child sees the teacher. Okay? So the skill is there, but of course, you are transferring all of those ones into the virtual world. Okay, so your engagement, your instructional design, because for curriculum is something that is so broad that you don't even know. Curriculum is something that is broad that you can't find. I'm telling you, parents are always asking questions in terms of curriculum. They're always asking, are you conversant with the American curriculum? Are you conversant with the British curriculum? Do you know how to teach 11 plus children? Have you taught a child in 11? Have you prepared a child for 11 plus before? Have you taught a child GCSE before? Have you taught a child this? Have you taught a child that? Have you done this? Have you done that? But of course, the fact that you have that instructional design, you can plan. You have vocational aptitude. Your head of school or your boss, they've given you topics. Okay, now plan this into first term, into second term, into third term. You're going to be applying some of those skills as well into the virtual world, because some of those curriculum that you find yourself, some of those, the curriculum that you're going to be given, it's something that you would have to sit down and look at. They're not going to plan that for you. You'll be the one to plan it yourself. But because you have that skill, it is going to be easier for you to transfer that into the virtual world. So as a teacher, all of those things are one part that you've ticked in the box. How to engage the children in the classroom, your classroom management, your instructional design, using curriculum, in terms of turning standard, in terms of your lesson plan, turning your lesson plan into learning experiences. These are the things that you'd have to now put. Now, let's now go to other skills that we're going to be talking about, because for you to thrive so much in this remote world, you really have a whole lot of work to do. And like I said, it's actually not for everybody. But for those who are willing, if you are willing to learn, if you are willing to put in the work, definitely you'll see the results. Of course, the results it may not be fast, but definitely you will still know that you are not where you used to be, and it's something that you would really love. So now let's now go to this part now, in terms of your teaching lane. What are you going to do? Choosing your online teaching lane. Now, you need to first sit down and craft a niche for yourself. What do you even want for yourself? You see, so many teachers, they don't even know what they want for themselves. They are everywhere. They are everywhere. What niche do you have? What niche do you want to craft for yourself? Do you teach? What niche? Are you a teacher who wants to concentrate on early years? Are you a teacher who wants to concentrate on secondary school children? Are you a teacher who wants to concentrate on 11 plus? Are you a teacher who wants to concentrate on GCSE? Are you a teacher? You need to specialize in something. Somebody needs to know you for something. They need to know you for one aspect or the other. They need to know you for one aspect or the other. You need to choose a lane. You need to choose a lane. And then you channel your energy in that lane. You cannot be everywhere. You cannot be everywhere. That's the truth. You cannot be in this place. You cannot be in that place. You cannot be in this. You cannot be in that. You need to craft one for yourself. If it is 11 plus you want to do, if it's GCSE, if it's early years, if it's just primary school, you need to craft something. You can't be everywhere. You can't be in early years. You can't be in primary. You can't be in secondary. You need to find something and craft. You need to find a niche. And so choosing your own lane, what teaching lane do you even want to choose for yourself in this tutoring world? So you have to choose a lane that matches your energy. What is your expertise? What competence? In terms of competency, how competent are you in your field? In that niche that you find yourself, how competent are you in? So how do you want to go about it? You need to start, you need to find out. You need to sit down and plan about it. You need to know what niche, what area of service do I want to be doing? What area of service do I want to be dishing out? What area of service do I want to, because the truth is, you need to get a skill. It is that skill that employers are willing to pay for. It is that skill. It is that skill employers are willing to pay for. It is the skill. It is that competency that you have. It is how competent you are that I want to pay for. So you need to craft a niche for yourself. What niche do you even have for yourself? A lot of us, we don't even have a niche. Anywhere belle face, no niche. So you need to sit down and craft. What teaching lane do I want to choose? Do I want to focus on early years? Do I want to focus on primary? Do I want to focus on secondary? Do I want to focus, or do I want to pick primary and secondary? Or do I want to pick early years? And yeah, I know of someone that would say that, oh, Mr. George, don't give me children in year 4. I don't know how to teach them. But early years and KS1, that is my field. You need to craft, develop a niche, and then build on it. Channel your energy on that niche. Focus more on that niche. Be good in that niche in such a way that we cannot take our eyes off from you. If I have a child that is so troublesome and then the child is in year 1, I know, okay, this teacher can teach this class very well, effectively. Let me give this teacher this child. Oh, I am a math teacher. I teach mathematics from year 4 to year 6. I only teach primary mathematics. I don't teach secondary maths. Be good at it in such a way that by the time we assign a child to you, in such a way that when recruiters, when brands, when they give you children or when they assign children, you're going to deliver. You can't be everywhere. You need to craft a niche for yourself. You need to define your own teaching lane in this field. And then you build your energy. You channel your energy towards that. So, in terms of live teaching, your teaching has to be live, of course. It has to be one-on-one. It has to be one-on-one. What platform do you want to teach in the live teaching? Do you want to use Zoom? Do you want to use Microsoft Teams? Do you want to use Google Meet? That's a skill that you have to go and learn. Do you know how to generate link? How do I generate link? Go and learn how to generate links. Go to YouTube. The YouTube is there for you to learn all of those things. Go to YouTube, learn how to generate link, learn how to generate link on Zoom, learn how to generate link on Google Meet, and then take a look at the user interface. How do I share screen? Definitely, you will not stop saying, "Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? Can you see my?" You will not stop saying, "Can you see my screen?" Because your screen has to be shared. You have to share screen. You have to share screen. It's important. So, in terms of your live teaching, how do you want to go about your live teaching? You are not, remember, you are moving away from using WhatsApp. You're not using WhatsApp now. You are going live now. You are going live. So, you are going live. So, you are going live. So, what live? What aspect? So, what aspect do you want to do? So, what aspect do you want to do? What aspects? What aspects are you focusing on? What aspects are you checking out? What aspects? What video conferencing app do you want to use? What video conferencing app do the children want to meet you? Because everything has to be live. It has to be live. It has to be live in such a way that the children have to see you. They need to see you. The children need to see you. Your teaching has to be live. And when you come live, you turn on your camera. Just like how you can see me. Your camera has to be turned on. It has to be turned on. Because that is where you develop mutual connect. I Online teachers develop mutual connections with their children. There was once a time a child I was teaching came from the UK to Nigeria, and then we met. You, the way we connected, the way we connected. So there's connection in remote world, in virtual, in this remote teaching. There's connection. You can develop connection in such a way that, even if when you change another teacher and then they're like, "Oh, we've missed so person. Can we get so can I have this teacher? Can I have this person? Can I have that one?" It's because of the connection that teachers have developed with their learners. So your live teaching, you have to go live. It has to be video conferencing. Which video conferencing do you want to choose? Remember, I talked about the transferable skills that you can bring in from the classroom to the online world. So, which skill do you want to bring in? Okay. Now, for the video conferencing, you need to go and learn how to share screen, how to use remote control on Zoom. There are so many aspects that you can check on on Zoom or Google Meet, because that is the avenue, that is the point, that is the place where those children will come and meet you. Now, what learning pace do you also want to create for yourself? Is it going to be like a sort of a self-paced? Is it going to be like is it going to be like something where you have different worksheets, and then at the end you are sending worksheets to the children, and then they are learning, you are sending worksheets? Of course, assignments have to be given. Assignments have to be given. Children have to be given assignments. You have to teach and then give children assignments. So you choose a lane. You have to choose a teaching lane. You have to choose a teaching lane. Develop that lane. Choose that niche. Focus on that niche, and then channel your energy towards that. Now, we've talked about niche. It's important that you create a niche for yourself. So for teachers who are just starting, you have to create a niche for yourself. You have to create a niche for yourself. What niche do you want to create for yourself in this tutoring world? In this space, what niche? Oh, I am a primary school teacher. I teach primary children. It's not about teaching mathematics, teaching English, teaching chemistry, teaching further math, teaching biology, teaching this, teaching that. No, it's all about teaching all subjects. You can't do jack of all trade here in remote world, here in this online tutoring. You'd have to create a niche for yourself, and then you develop that niche. You focus on that niche. You channel your energy on that, and that's what you are meant to do. So, niche, creating niche, finding a lane that you want to choose, and then in such a way that you are now focusing on that lane, and which is very important. Very, very important. Now, like I've said, your learners are very important. Okay. Now, if you really want to go far, you really want to go far, of course, your learner, it starts from one learner. Every brand owner you see today, every brand that you cherish today, every tutoring companies that you see today, they all started from one person. I could remember the very first time when I started as well too. I could remember I just posted on my WhatsApp status. I did one video like that, and then I posted on my WhatsApp status, and somebody saw a friend saw my WhatsApp status and then asked me, "Do you teach online?" I said, "Yes, I teach online." And then from there, connected me to her niece. And that was how we started. From there, her niece is in the US. Connected me to her niece in the US. And then we had a phone call. And then they told me what the problem was. This, that, this. And then I started. If I tell you, I'm still teaching that child up to today. I'm still teaching that child. That's how I started. From one child, from my very first client. From my very first client. That was how I started. From one learner, little by little, little by little, little by little, little by little, little by little. So, like I said at the earlier start, that the growth, you may not quickly witness the growth, more or less like how you are projecting it. But you would definitely, as long as you are taking a step, as long as you are, as long as you are finding all means to ensure that you don't remain in one position, as long as you are finding a means in such a way that you are learning. Learning continues. Learning never stops. We keep learning. So you have to start from one person, from that one learner, confidently, little by little, ensuring that you give your best, ensuring that they get value. They have to get value for their money. They have to get value for their money. They have to get value for their money. They have to get value. It's important that they get value for their money. Okay? Because when your clients get value for money, when parents get value for money, that is when they can refer somebody. That is when they can tell someone about what you do. That is when they can refer. That is when they can tell someone about what you do. In terms of increasing your client base, one of the priority that you have to have, one of the main priority that you have to develop is that every parent has to get value for their money, irrespective of how much they are paying. So irrespective of how much they're paying, they have to get value for their money. It's important that they get value for their money, because when they get value for their money, they are able to tell somebody about what you do. They're able to bring in somebody. They're able to bring in someone. They're able to tell someone about what you do. And that's just it. So when they get value for their money, so whether you find yourself in terms of working for brands, it's a win-win situation. Your boss is happy, you too, you're happy. At the end of the day, they pay you for the level for the work, for the job that you've done. The brand is happy. You teacher, you are happy. The parent too is happy. It's a win-win for the three of us. How do you tell my team members that? It's a win-win for the three of us. I'm happy, you are happy, and then the client is happy. And they get value for their money. And that's just it. So they must get value for their money, because if you put yourself in their category, if you put yourself in their shoes, if you're paying for something and then they're not getting value, you're not going to smile. You won't find it funny. If you're paying for something and then they're not getting value, you're not getting value for it, you definitely want to stop. So when you start with that one learner, ensure that you give in your best. Ensure that you give in your best in such a way that they get value for their money, little by little. That is how referrals work. That is how we start. That is how referrals. I tell you, a client, a parent can refer as many as they can. One person can just bring in 4. It has happened to me before. One person can just bring in 4. One person can just bring in 3. And you know one funny thing about referrals, if you are not careful, if you don't treat them well, and they're not getting value, they go. They leave. That same people that That's one of the things I actually don't like about referrals. As as sweet as our referral is, one little mistake like this, the three of them, they can just go. They can leave if they're not getting value any longer, and they go elsewhere. So when you start with that specific learner, ensure that you give value, ensure that you go to class as expected. Some of those things that are required of you as an online tutor is that you have to plan. Some teachers don't even plan. You shouldn't be thinking of what do I want to teach that child. You should be thinking of what do I want to teach today. No, have a plan. Teach, give your best, deliver. Go there and deliver. Go there and deliver. Give in your best to those children. Respect policy. Abide with their policy. It's not about complaining that the pay is small. Of course, you knew how much they were going to pay before. Why are you complaining? You wanted it. You said you wanted to do it. If it doesn't pay you, then you should have rejected the offer. So find out. Find out how much. If you're looking for working for brands, find out how much you want to pay. Brands want to pay. Find out. Are they brands that oh, those are the little homeworks that you should do too as well from your own part. Are they brands? Are they organizations that owe salary? Are they organizations that owe tutoring fees? 2 months, 3 months. You find out. You teach. Be in a conducive environment. Teach. Invest in your gadgets. You have to invest in your gadgets. It's very important that you invest in your gadgets because that's your tool. Every content creators that are online tutors that you admire, every online tutors that you admire today, they all started from somewhere. I've shared little of my story before. What led me into online tutoring was because I took a loan of a laptop that I didn't know I was going to pay back. I took a loan of a laptop I didn't know I was going to pay back. And that was what led me into online tutoring. A lot of online tutors that you admire, they didn't get it rosy. They started from somewhere, little by little. They believe in the process, little by little, little by little, little by little, little by little, little by little. You have to draw out scale of preference based on what you want. Oh, you have a laptop. What things do you really require next? Okay, I need a headset. What things do I require next? I need a router. If you are still using phone as hotspot, you will have a whole lot of work to do. Upscale. Upscale. If you are still using phone as hotspot, get a MiFi. I also started from using phone as hotspot. From there, I got a MiFi. From MiFi, I got router. When MiFi was doing a rubbish, I got MiFi because you can't compare the bandwidth you have from MiFi to the one of router. I got a router. You have to invest in your gadgets. Draw out scale of preference. Don't let anybody cajole you. Don't let anybody whine you. You use money to find money. You use money to find money. And that's just it. There are some websites that you have to pay for. Twinkle. You have to pay for Twinkle. That is where you get teaching resources. There's some teaching resources that you have to pay for. It's just that teachers are a set of people that don't even want to contribute for anything. I could remember a few years back when I was still in the classroom, you would call teachers to contribute for money. They are always grumbling. Someone had operation, and then it was time to contribute money. One person said he does not have money. How much? How much was the money? How much? 500 naira to contribute. Just 500 naira to contribute. So you have to invest in your teaching tools. You have to invest in your gadgets. That's your irinṣẹ́. That's your tool. That's your instrument. That's your instrument. Your writing pad, as a math teacher, I don't even take you seriously if you teach calculation, and then I don't even you cannot come you cannot come to class with a ready-made solution and then you are teaching. That's not teaching. That's cheating. You cannot come with ready-made ready-made workings and then you want to teach. No, it's not done. You have to invest. You invest in your tools. You invest, you get a laptop. Your laptop cannot be a TV laptop. If you are still using TV laptop, I hope you know what we mean by TV laptop. TV laptop in such a way that it only uses light. You have to find a laptop. Get a good laptop. If you go to Computer Village, if you live in Lagos, you find laptops of 150,000, 180,000, 200,000, depending on your budget. There's laptop of 1 million, depending on your budget. If you're starting small, launching your tutoring career from chalkboard to the virtual board or to the remote world, you have to start from somewhere. You have to start from somewhere. But of course, you can draw scale of preference for yourself, and then you can buy those gadgets little by little. It is your tool. It is your tool. You have to buy them. It's an investment that you are doing. An investment that you may not reap in the next 6 months. An investment that you may start reaping maybe 1 year after. So you have to invest in your gadgets. Very important that you invest in your gadgets. And so all of these things are part of what we are still talking about in terms of ensuring that your clients, in terms of ensuring that parents get value for their money. So parents have to get value for their money. It's important that they have value, that they get value. That is one of the ways through which you can increase your client base. If you're looking for ways through which you want to increase your client base, then of course, clients, your people, they have to get value for their money. If you work for brands, you want to work for brands, you have to be dependable in such a way that your boss or your guy or anybody who is in charge, they have to so much rely on you that you will deliver. Nobody wants to keep monitoring you. Nobody wants to come and be checking your class, to come and be observing if you are doing the needful, if you are doing the right thing. No. Every brand owner wants to go back and sit down in such a way that when a child is assigned to you, because they trust you that you are going to deliver. They trust that you will give your best. They trust that you will deliver. And that's just it. So you have to start from somewhere, ensuring that your clients, the brands that you are working for, they get the best out of what you are doing. So every great lesson follows some 4-part structure that you see that the classroom already knows. The objective. What objective? Like I said, planning. Planning is very important. So what objective have you set? What objectives do the children? What objective? Set objective. You don't just go to class without a plan. You don't just go to class without an objective. What objective do you have at the end of this class? What is the learning objective for that child, for that topic? Do you even have a learning or do you even have a goal for that child? And that's why you see sometimes when clients, when they come for inquiry, I always love to ask them, may I know what your goal is for this child? Because the reason why you are asking that is so that you can align their own goal with yours. You may have a parent who is coming to make inquiry for a child in year 4, and then maybe they want the child to write 11 plus, or maybe they want to prepare the child for 11 plus. And then you didn't find out, you didn't ask what the goal is. You just, okay, you want you to teach math, English, and science. And then you start teaching math, English, and science without finding what their intention is. So you always have to ask, may I know what the objective is? May I know what this is? May I know what that is? So you have to find out. You have to ask them. So set objective. Very important. Very, very important that you give set objective. And then your record example has to do with what video conferencing app that we've talked about that. What video conferencing app in terms of your recording, in terms of contacts where the children would have to come and meet you in the classroom. It's physical in such a way that the children see you, they connect with you. Same way in online tutoring, you have to connect. You have to find which means you want to use to deliver instruction. You have to find which means that you want to use to teach the children. So what means do you want to use to teach the children? And that's why you see that every of these steps in which you see, you already do them in the physical classroom. So the medium does not even change at all. It is only the craft. It is only the strategy. It is only how you want to go about it. That is what changes. Your art practice is just all about your assessment. After you've done record example, after you've taught them, after you've delivered your best to the children, after you've taught those children, you are giving them assessments. You are assessing. You are giving assignments. They need to be assessed. Children have to be assessed. And then you're giving feedback. Feedback in terms of reports. Feedback in terms of if a child does not do well, you have the parents and WhatsApp contacts. You quickly communicate with them. You send them a message. Oh, I discovered that this child did not do so well in this, or this one, that one, blah, 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 blah. You communicate. You give feedback. Parents love when you give feedback in terms of how their children are doing. You have to give feedback. You have to give them feedback. You give them feedback. So give feedback. Give feedback. Very important that you give feedback. Very important that you give feedback. Another thing that is very important, and if you want to thrive, is you building your online presence. I tell you, I don't think you should joke with this, because the new currency now is visibility. Visibility is the new currency. If you want people to take you seriously, in fact, I don't even have time to be going through the CV. All I just want you to do for me, just give me your LinkedIn profile. That's one of the things I ask. Can I have your LinkedIn profile? Because I know your LinkedIn profile, your picture is there. Sometimes when you send me random messages on WhatsApp, it may not have your picture. Give me your LinkedIn profile. I just go there and check. I go there and see. So, visibility is a new currency. And as someone who is transitioning into online tutoring, if you're looking for ways through which you want to get clients, you have to be visible. You have to build a professional presence. You have to build a professional presence. Very important that you build a professional presence. Very important. Because those are the skills that will make you employable. Those are the things one of the things that would actually make you employable. Looking for that right, perfect job, for that tutoring job. Your online presence is very important. Sometimes you see that parents, when they sometimes just send you a follow back, and then they're watching what you are doing. You may not know that they're watching. You may not know. You think they're not seeing it. They're seeing it. They may not like it, but they're watching. They are seeing it. They're watching it. They're looking at it. So building a simple professional presence is very important. You have to remain visible. You have to remain visible, because that is where visibility comes in terms of your social media marketing and content creation. Content creation and social media marketing, you can't joke with those two. You are looking for ways through which you want to increase your client base. Definitely, you can't joke with that. You can't joke with content creation. You can't joke with social media marketing. Social media marketing. Which app do you want to use? You need to study social media and platforms very well. You can't be finding clients on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is not a right platform for you to go and look for clients. LinkedIn is not a right platform for you to go and look for clients. LinkedIn is a platform for recruiters to see your work. LinkedIn is for recruiters to see what you are doing. LinkedIn is for recruiters to collaborate with you. LinkedIn is for people to collaborate with you, to see what you are doing. That is what LinkedIn is for. And that is why you have to maintain a very strong presence on LinkedIn. If you're not on LinkedIn, I tell you, you are missing a whole lot. In terms of collaboration, that is where you definitely meet people. So you have to build online presence. How do you go about that? Your educator profile. What subjects? Bio, your bio. In terms of your bio, you have to craft, go to ChatGPT. All of these things are simple. I call it ChatGPT. Go there. ChatGPT, create a 30 days content calendar for me. Edit my, can you create a bio? Can you create about me? ChatGPT will create about me, a very solid about me profile that you can go and upload and update your about me profile on LinkedIn. ChatGPT will create that for you. ChatGPT will create that. If you're looking for portrait pictures and you don't have, take one photograph or take one snapshot of your go to ChatGPT. ChatGPT will, in fact, ChatGPT will even give you different suits, 3-piece suit or any different suits. The ChatGPT will create for you, and then you can use that. Your profile has to be, you have to put in a very good profile picture. You have to state your subjects. What subject do you teach? I am an online tutor for this. What subject do you teach? What grade level do you teach? What teaching approach? Sometimes create content on your teaching approach in such a way that people can see, in such a way that recruiters can see, in such a way that parents can see. Create content on your teaching approach. Create content on exactly who you are and who you are trying to help. You have to be clear. You have to be clear in terms of what you are doing. So your educator profile is very important. Visibility is a new currency. I won't lie to you. You can't be saying, I am too shy. I am shy. If you are shy, you can't be here if you are shy, you. Then that is, if you are shy, if you don't want to, you can go and be working for brand. It's fine and okay. It's brand wahala. Where they get their children from is their wahala. When I was still working for brands, there was nothing like in terms of creating content. I don't even create content. When I was working for brands, I don't. All the brands that I've worked for, they were always giving me children. They were always bombarding me with children. So it didn't even occur to me to create content because I was getting books with children from different brands that I was working for. So it didn't even come to my memory. It didn't even come to my thinking of me creating content. It was until when I now left them and then I needed clients of my own. I now started looking at, okay, what can I do? I started bringing out myself. I started creating content. I started developing my online presence little by little, little by little, little by little, little by little. I started creating. It may look like noise. It's not noise. Now you know what you defined. Someone has to see. Someone has to see. Someone has to see. It's not noise. You have to make something out of it. You have to make noise about it. I went on a function today now. I have created about 10 contents. If you go to my page now, I have uploaded all of them. I no send anybody. I have created about 10. I just put it there. So you have to make noise. You have to make noise about it. You have to post it. What is the essence? If I don't post, how will you know? How are you going to know if I don't post it? If I don't put it there, how are you going to know? How will you know? How will they know you are an online tutor? How will they know that you teach children? How will they know how good you are if you don't post it? if you don't put it there, if you don't develop a strong online presence, how will they know? How will they know you? If you don't put it there, if you don't post, there's nothing like being shy. You have to start from somewhere, little by little, little by little, little by little. You have to create it. You have to put it there. If you really want to thrive in this space, so your educator profile is very important. So you have to take a look at that. AI, artificial intelligence, your write-up and every. I'm telling you, Claude AI, you can check. There are so many. They will just give you write-up and then you fine-tune it. You add and subtract and polish it and then you post. You shouldn't. There's nothing like I don't know what to post. You don't know what to post. Okay. Have you consulted AI? Have you consulted Claude AI? Have you consulted ChatGPT? Have you? There's something like I don't know how to post. Content yakpa. You should always be posting something every day on your page. So you have to sit down, take a look at your content calendar, take a look at your online presence and see what you can do. Even if it's once a week you want to start, even if it's twice a week you want to start, something has to be thrown there. Somebody needs to know what you do. Somebody needs to know what you do. Somebody needs to know what your expertise. Somebody needs to know. Somebody needs to know what you are made of. Somebody needs to know what you are capable of. And how would they know? You build a simple professional presence, and which is very important. So, useful example, like I've said, you can use AI, your short teaching video, downloadable activity, a classroom insight, a mini lesson to demonstrate your expertise. You just have to be out. You just have to be there. And then you now look at your channel. Commit to one platform. If you have a strong online presence on Facebook, develop on it. Go there and develop there. Throw more back to back. Always be talking about your work. Always be talking about what you do. Always be talking about your expertise. Always be talking about what you will offer. Throw more. If it is TikTok that you have strong online presence on, go there. Throw content. Create contents there. Channel your energy there. If it is Instagram, go there. You can go viral on TikTok more than Instagram. Go there. Throw. People like us started from 5 views, 10 views, from 10 views, 20 views, from 20 views, 100 views, from 100 views, 200 views, from 200 views to 1,000 views. Like that. So you have to look at what platform, what social media platform you want to concentrate on. You want to concentrate on Instagram and TikTok. You want to concentrate on LinkedIn. You just find a way. In fact, we even have some platforms now in such a way that you create one content like this. It throws it on your platform. It will throw it on LinkedIn. It will throw it on Instagram. It will throw it on Facebook. It will throw it on everywhere. It will throw it on TikTok. It will throw it on LinkedIn. So it's not as if you are posting on TikTok. You are posting just one like this. So much juicy everywhere. So you need to look at that. So commit to one platform. If it's just one platform you want to do, there's nothing. Somebody needs to know what you do. Your contact list. If your contact list, they don't know what you do, then you have to start from somewhere. They need to know you're an online tutor. Even if you don't have a brand, they need to know you're an online tutor. Somebody on your contact list needs to know that, online tutor, but boy, your online tutor, this lady is an online tutor. She's an online tutor. Somebody needs to know what you do. And how will they know? You have to build an online presence. So building an online presence is actually very important. Then in terms of your offer, very important. A lot of us, we shoot ourselves in the leg. And I'll tell you why we shoot ourselves in the leg in terms of offer. And I'm going to really talk a little bit about this offer. In terms of pricing, when I started, I didn't get pricing right too as well. In fact, I have done 2,000 naira per hour before. I've done 1.5. I've done 2.5 per hour before. Do I want to do that now? No, there is a level through which you are going to attain in such a way that you cannot do you cannot do rubbish work. There's a level through which you are going to attain. It's a process. There was a time I've done 1.5. I have done 2,000 naira per hour before. I have done 2.5. But I didn't stop there. I upgraded. I upgraded my tech tools. I upgraded my skill. I learned more. I did this and I was better. I became a better version of myself. And then, even if I tell you that this amount that you want to give me is small, I don't know if you can increase it to 5,000 per hour, or if you can increase it to 6,000 per hour. And then when you see, even if you subject me to an interview, and then you take a look at what I have delivered, and you feel that it is something that, this guy, no, this guy taught well, this guy delivered well, you will pay for it. And that is just it. So, in terms of your offer, you cannot give what you can't give what you don't have. You can't give what you don't have. You are not that strong, you are not that good, and then you are charging 20,000 naira per hour. A teacher once reached out to me on TikTok. Yeah, just said, "Oh, I don't know if they can work with me. This is da 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 da." Da." And then at that point, at that time, I was looking for an Igbo teacher, and then I just went to her page and I saw this one teaches Igbo, and I saw her setup. I saw her setup. I saw what she does. I said, okay, let me see if I can get her on board, and let's see if we can. And then I sent her a message, and I said that, how much do you charge? What's your charge? What's your charge? And then you are giving me 20,000 naira per hour. Shame me going back 20,000 naira lower clients. And then you are giving me 20,000 naira per hour. A lot of us, we've lost so many opportunities in terms of making offer. Some teachers even charge you foreign currency. Oh, my charge is $12. My charge is 15 pounds. Shame me going back 15 pounds. Oh, my charge is 16 pounds. My charge is I charge $10. I've once reached out to somebody, and then you are giving me charge of in dollar. Come on now. So, and then if you subject people like that for an interview, and in the long run, they flop. In the long run, they don't deliver, and then you are like, "Is this what I want to pay for? Is this? Are you? Is it?" And you are charging me $16, and you are charging me 15 pounds. So, in terms of making your offer, take a look at what you can deliver. Take a look at. There's nothing bad when you start small. There's nothing bad when you start small. There's nothing bad if you start with 4,000 naira per hour. There's nothing bad if you start with 5,000 naira per hour. As it starts, I'm talking to the newbies now. There's nothing bad if you start with 4,000 naira. As someone who just started, you learn on the job. You use them to gather experience. Little by little, little by little, you build up experiences. Little by little, from 4,000 naira, you keep on. You don't relent. You too will become someone who can now charge 15,000 naira per hour. You too will now become someone who will now be able to charge 20,000 naira per hour. You can now give clients 25,000 naira per hour. And then they are like, they've seen your work. They've seen your work on the media. They've seen your work on Gram. They've seen what you're capable of. And then if you say you want to charge 15,000 naira per hour, sometimes some of them, they may say, okay, can we do a tester session? They want to see what you want to offer. And then they're subjecting you for tester session, and then you did now meet up. How will they get back to you? They're not going to get back to you. They are not going to get back to you. So in terms of your offer, you have to take a look at your offer and see what pays you. I don't actually give a definite amount. When I see teachers asking me message, when I see teachers sending me message in terms of making inquiry, I don't know how much to charge. You don't know how much to charge? I cannot give you a definite amount of how much you want to charge. Take a look at your purchasing factor. Take a look at what you feel that can pay you. If you feel it's 6,000 naira per hour that will pay you, why don't you do it? Will I now say that 6,000 naira is too small for you to collect? No, I'm not going to tell you 6,000 naira is too small. You start from somewhere. 6,000 naira times 12, that's 72,000 naira. 72,000 naira times 3 children. Multiply, do the math. 72,000 naira times 3 children. That's about 200 and something plus. Just sitting down at home with just 3 children of 6,000 naira per hour, which is something. So will I now say that you shouldn't do it? No, I'm not going to say you shouldn't do. But take a look at something that you feel that, okay, kini show pay me. Does it show pay? Do but it pay, do it. And little by little, you trust the process. You pray to God about it to bless it for you. And you give it your all. You give it your all. You deliver. Ensure that you deliver. You give your best to it. You see what God will do. See how doors will open. When you are doing the right thing, everybody is smiling. I'm smiling, you are smiling, clients are smiling. Your clients are getting value for their money. You will see how referrals will flow. You see how referrals will come in. So, in terms of your offer, take a look at your offer. Not too big, not too small. Take a look at something that you feel that, okay, it's something that is manageable for a start and something that will pay you. But I'm not going to advise you that you should do 2,000 naira per hour. If you do 2,000 naira per hour, how much is even data? Are you not going to subscribe data? Are you not going to do data? I know how much I pay. I know how much I pay for data every month. The amount I pay for data every month is enough to pay someone's salary. Someone who is in physical classroom is enough to pay. So you have to look at it. I can't advise you to do 2,000 naira per hour. I can't advise you to do 2,005 per hour. That's way too small. But take a look at something that you know that within your means, and that is something that, okay, it's manageable. It's something that you can do in such a way that little by little, you will. You are using to gather experience. You're using to gather more to teach that child, to gather more. And then you definitely see how referrals will come in for you when your clients are getting value for their money. So in your offer, do you want to charge 1 hour? Do you want to charge hourly or do you want to charge monthly? So you have to look at that in terms of your offer, in terms of your packages. Are you charging hourly? Are you charging monthly? What are you doing in terms of hourly, in terms of monthly? What amount do you want to collect from the client? What amount do you want to collect from the parent? Is it 60,000 you want to collect from the parent? Is it 70,000 you want to collect from the parent 3 times a week? Is it 80,000 you want to collect from the parent 3 times a week? Is it 90,000 you want to collect 3 times a week from the parent? Is it 50,000 naira? If they offer 50,000 naira, manageable, but don't relent there. They can do better. They can push up to 60,000 naira, little by little. If you have 3 children and you are collecting 60,000 naira, that's 180,000 naira. Even a normal physical school now, if they are paying you 180,000 naira, you will work tire. You will work tire. You will work tire. So you have to look at, just be content. Be content. It's small, little by little. You too, it will increase. It will multiply. It's just that a whole lot of us, we want to do copy. You've seen someone who has posted that how my teacher in my community bought bought a plot of land. How my teacher in Kinikon, how he bought a car. How my teacher in Kinikon, how they build. You too, you want to do copy. Stay your lane and focus. Stay your lane and be focused. And be focused. So, what format option do you want to do? Monthly packages or hourly packages? How do you want to go about it? How do you want to go about it? In terms of what to include in your offer, how do you want to go about it? So you have to give your offer. Start something reasonable. Start something reasonable. Sell the idea, deliver something that you give in such a way that they learn, something that you give in such a way that in the long run, they get value for their money. And then to go about all of these things is actually very simple. So here, in terms of your social media marketing, in terms of your niche, in terms of you being an online tutor, what are you doing? What plan, what focus do you have for yourself? What plan, what focus do you have? All of these things can be achievable within a month. And here, this is the 1 month day launch plan. So you have to sit down. You can use your week one to find out which niche do you want to craft for yourself. So if you are launching now, you want to launch next month, you want to launch in September, or you want to launch in October, you can use a month to plan for yourself and take a look at. The week one can be, what niche do you want to craft for yourself? What categories of learners do you want to teach? What categories of learners do you want to impact? You can sit down and start listing it and start defining it. Week two, create one sample lesson and build a simple profile or landing page. Do you have a profile? What's your profile? Do you have, in terms of visibility, what profile? How active are you on there? So you have to create a sample lesson and build a landing page in such a way that it is easier for parents to reach out to you. It's easier for parents to reach to you. You can do a free small group, or yes, I've seen people doing that in this summer period. Just small group, just reading class, free, just once a day. From there, they are using that. We are running free tutoring for children that are writing 11 plus in our academy, all the way from August. We started from August 3rd. We've done 10 days out of 21 days in August, free, without collecting one kobo, without collecting one naira from the parents. And yet, teachers are going to be paid. So, it's just about strategy. So, what strategy do you want to go about it? How do you want to go in terms of getting clients? Collect feedbacks. Take a look at feedback. You have to thrive on feedbacks. You have to check out your feedback. Look at your feedback. Use it. Sit down. Plan. Rinse. Repeat. Rinse. Repeat. Little by little, 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 you will also get there. So you don't need to leave the classroom. You don't need it. The mistake that you are going to do is for you to say you don't have any clients, you don't have any brand that you're working for, and then you now want to leave the classroom. That's that's a that's don't do it. Don't work. Still do, still gather experience, start applying, and then when you are now getting you are now getting brands that you are working for, little by little, little by little, and then you now see the green light, you now see the go ahead. Talk to God about it, and then if He gives you the go ahead, yes, He will surely back you. So build evidence, build confidence, and then you take one lesson at a time, little by little, little by little, little by little. So if you are planning to transition, you can use 30 days. You can use a whole month to plan. Craft your niche. What niche? Next thing, develop a page for yourself. If you're not on LinkedIn, some of you are on LinkedIn, but your page is looking somehow, go and refine it. Go to ChatGPT to refine your page for you. Create a good bio. Create a good about me. Find out if you want to do free lessons, or if you want to, the kind of learners that you want to get. Do advertisements. Collect feedbacks. And then these are part of the things that you can do in terms of launching into the tutoring world. Remember that the tutoring space is meant for those who are willing to do the work. People that are willing to do the work. I tell you, if you are willing to do the work, you will eat. I think there's a way the Bible puts it. Those, if you are obedient and then you are shaking it on, you will eat the fruit of the land. If you are willing to put in the work, if you are willing to give in your best, it may take time, but you will get there. It may take time, but little by little, little by little, little by little, little by little, you will get there. And that's just it. So you can pivot, you can start from somewhere, you can start small. And from there, as you are going, just ensure that you are investing in your gadgets. Just ensure that your clients are getting value. Whatever brand that you are working for, they are getting value. Take a look at all the things that are all the professional things that are required of you as an online tutor. You have to deliver excellently, and you have to deliver excellently. You have to give assignments. You don't miss classes all the time. Even if classes are going to be missed, you talk to your boss, you talk to the parent, you talk to the client. You don't just abscond. It's not good for you when you abscond. Little by little, little by little, little by little. And I tell you, the good Lord will help us all. So I don't know if we have anyone with question. Yes, please.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. George. I really learned a lot even myself. I had to write some things down. I'm stealing some of your tips already. And it's very important that you mentioned that starting small, a lot of people want to start making the millions as soon as possible. But I'm so happy you mentioned the fact that you just need to start somewhere. And secondly, I like the fact that you also mentioned that put yourself out there. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be shy. You can't be shy for you to get your visibility. Please, if you have questions, nobody has actually posted any question in the chat box. Okay, yes, somebody is saying that if a classroom teacher wants to prepare teachers for exam, how do one develop themselves for it, class I'm sorry please, especially class structure and how to take a class. So kindly put your questions so that I can just we don't really have
Okay.
so much time. I thank Mr. George
If
because
a
it took so much time. Yeah,
if
so
a
if a class teacher
wants
if a
to prepare
classroom
students
teacher
for
wants to prepare
exams,
students for exams,
okay,
how do
very
one
good.
develop
Yeah. Now,
themselves?
I think I've created a video on this before, and I'm going to also say this, that if you find yourself if you find yourself in the primary section, now for the primary section, actually, for kids that are in the primary section, especially for kids in the UK, they write 11 plus. Okay, they write SAT. Children in the US, they write STAR exams. Now, to prepare yourself, to prepare for some of these exams, if you want to develop yourself, go to this website and download past questions. Get SAT papers. I say this to teachers. In as much as you can prepare a child for exam, if you can prepare a child for exam here in Nigeria, you can prepare a child to pass a common entrance, to pass WAEC. There are some teachers that when they teach children mathematics, they have B's, they have A's, they are delivering. You can prepare a child for GCSE. All you just need to do, just go to the website, go and find out about 11 plus. Go and find out about 11 plus curriculum. Go and find out about SAT. Look for SAT material. For SATs, children in year 6, they write SAT. 11 plus is just like an entrance exam that the children write. from years in year 5, in year 6, first 10. Children that are going from year 5 to year 6. But of course, some parents, they prepare children from year 3, they prepare children from year 4. So you have to sit down and do it. Go to Google, type SAT paper. You will see it there. Go to Google, type 11 plus material, 11 plus past question. Acquaint yourself with it. You teach mathematics, go through, download, and start solving. You are an English teacher, go through, check English language, download, and learn. Get yourself acquainted. Get yourself familiarized with it. Little by little, little by little, little by little. That is how you can prepare. That is how you can prepare for GCSE, for GCSE maths, GCSE physics, GCSE chemistry, GCSE biology. Go download GCSE biology. If you have been teaching biology, you have been teaching WAEC biology, and your children are making good results in WAEC. If you are teaching mathematics and your children are making good results in maths, if you are teaching English language and your children are making good results in WAEC English, you can prepare children for exam in the UK. Go and find out how some of those curriculum, how they do. Go to YouTube, type GCSE math, look at how it is taught. Go to Maths Genie, go there and check it out. Download some of these materials and look at it and learn, 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 learn. That's just it.
Okay, thank you. So we have some more questions. I know that people are really going to want to ask a lot of questions. So one thing I'm going to ask, first of all, I want you to know that Mr. George has his own personal brand where he really tackles a lot of things that relate to these questions. I remember that I've seen his sessions on preparing teachers. I know you just finished a series where you prepare teachers on how to really
Yeah.
prepare for this
For
examination,
exams,
SAT.
exactly.
Yes, I
SAT.
saw that recently. Yes, so I
Uh-huh.
saw that recently, and it's something that I know that you've been doing for teachers, trying to guide them on how to prepare students for exams specifically. So I'm going to encourage you. If you don't know about that, you need to check Mr. George page on Facebook. Is everywhere. It's on WhatsApp. Is is on Facebook. I just saw his post on Facebook. What he was just saying now about the Chartered Institute of Teaching Specialist. Congratulations once again, Mr. George. And I just saw that. So you can something. Please while we answer the questions, Mr. George, please can you just share you can share your LinkedIn handle, you can also your LinkedIn profile
Okay.
name,
Yeah.
and you
They
can
can
share your website so that people
just
can also know what to
just
do.
type George Agbede, and then you will definitely find me.
Okay. Yeah,
Mm.
someone is asking, please, which one is 11 plus SAS
Okay.
GCSE
I
that
think
you
I've talked about
mentioned?
11 plus. GCSE is exams that are written for children in year 10. In fact, you start preparing the children from year 10, year 11, year 12. Okay, some of those children in year 12, they write A levels. All right, it's just like WAEC. GCSE is like WAEC for secondary school children. 11 plus is like common entrance. So 11 plus common entrance for primary school, GCSE, WAEC. That is it.
We also have a question where somebody's asking, someone says, I don't have a teaching experience. How do I start? Somebody's also asking, what apps can they get resources on?
Okay,
Um,
there are a whole lot of those apps that you can get resources on. You can get from rather. You can check Twinkle. You can check Twinkle. Twinkle is there. You can check it. Just type SAT material. Go. You definitely see all of these websites. I've also done videos on some of these websites before. You can just go to my page and just check those websites. In fact, I've even pasted some of those links in the caption so that you can just go through and find out how you can use these websites, incorporate some of these teachings in the websites in such a way that it's really going to help the children. Okay, so you can look for some of those materials, but the main thing is having having experience. The main thing is having, you know, getting familiar with those papers, with those is little by little. That's how you build experiences, little by little, little. When I also started, I didn't even know all of these things. I started making research. I started making findings. So you build experiences little by little, little by little, little by little, little by little, little by little. That's how you get it. Okay. So
Yeah.
for those materials, you can go to web, you can go to YouTube and check out some of those material. I think someone is also saying that what are the tools one can start with on a low
Yeah.
budget income? So what are the tools that you can start with on a low budget income? On a low budget income, you can start with your tab. I'm not going to advise you that you use phone to teach because most of the reputable brands that do pay well, that would want to work with you, they're not going to allow if you come and then if I schedule an interview for you and then you are joining with your phone, me, I will kick you out of the meeting room. I will not even allow you to finish. So you don't use phone, you get a tab or you get a laptop. And like I said, there are laptops that are affordable. ThinkPad. If you're about Lenovo ThinkPad, I started from Lenovo ThinkPad. You can get Lenovo ThinkPad of 150, 180, 200,000 naira. Just put your mind and save towards it. It's an investment, just like I said. You can put yourself into a job, do thrift, do thrift. If you do thrift 20,000 naira in a month, 20 times 10, that's 200. You know that that year is laptop that you've used to buy. Do thrifts little by little, little by little. You can do thrifts. You can do, there are so many things. You can go to your school, collect cooperative. It's an investment, just like I've said. So you can get a laptop of 150, 200, 120, 130, 140, depending. And then for your resources, you can get free resources as well. If you don't want to pay for Twinkle, you can get affordable MiFi. You can get a writing pad that is affordable. Go to Computer Village. You can get little. So we're not saying that you should start big. We're not saying that your setup has to be gym, has to be rousy, has to be loud. Start with the little you have, and I tell you. So
Okay. So we have I can see that we have questions about someone is saying I'm new to online tutoring. I don't know how to get brands I can work with. But I think you've
okay,
already how can I get
yeah,
brands to
Avanza.
work with? Yeah.
If you don't have brands you work with, do code pitching. Code pitching. COLD. Pitch. Code pitch. Code pitch to yeah. You go to LinkedIn now. You see all of these brand owners they are there. Apply. Send them a message. I am an online tutor. Craft an introduction. This is what I do. This is my CV. I have my demo video. Send it to them. Code pitch. Tell a friend. You have friends that teach online. Tell them about what you do. Open up. Speak up. Tell somebody. Oh, this is what I do. Tell to somebody. Speak up. Talk to somebody. Talk to somebody. So apply. Apply. Find out about their emails. Send your CV there. Send your demo videos to their emails. And talk to friends. Let friends. I tell you, the easiest and the fastest is you talking to your friend. You have a friend that is doing online tutoring. Talk to them. Let them help you out. Don't cover your mouth. Open up and speak up. And I'm sure if they see the willingness in you, they see your setup, they see the gadgets that you have, they will be willing to assist you. They'll be willing to help you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. George. I'm sure that we've really exhausted the time, and
Thank you
thank
so
you for
much.
taking our time to really
Thank you so much. I
go through
appreciate
this. I'm sharing your LinkedIn. I know a lot of people
that.
joined you from LinkedIn, but I'm also going to share for those that are new and would want to get to know so much about what you do. Do you have anything coming up? Do you have something you want to share? Do you have any
No.
training?
Okay. For now, I actually don't have training coming up because my trainings are actually twice in a year. And so I do trainings twice in a year. I've started with some sets. I started with some sets, I think July. And so I'm going to take them all through from July till November, December. That's about 6 months. So by January again, I begin another one. I take them all through to June or July. I only just do mentorship session twice in a year. So
Okay.
for now, I'm not. But of course, we are also trying to see what we can do in such a way that we want to give back to the community. Yeah, definitely. I'll post that up on my pages, and then people can and have and be a beneficiary, but it's free as well.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Mm,
So I'm sure everybody should look out for Mr. George's page.
mm.
And personally, I'm vowing that once I get a hold of that's once you can also share the flyer with me at any time so I
Yeah,
can
no
also
problem.
share with
No
the
problem. Thank you so
community.
much.
Thank you so much,
All right. Thank you so
everyone,
much, everybody.
for
Thank you. I
this
have to go now.
opportunity. Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. So thank you so much everyone for joining and thank you for being part of this. This was brought to you by A Plus Educators. If you are not on the platform, I'm going to encourage you to join the platform. Let me kindly share the link now. So if you want to join, you can actually join. Remember to follow Remember to follow Mr. George on his personal his LinkedIn handle so that you are able to also get more information. Kindly join the WhatsApp group if you want to, and if you're not part of the WhatsApp group yet. Thank you so much, everyone, for being part of this, and I sincerely appreciate you for taking out the time. Sorry that we started late, but thank you for staying till now and being part of this exciting innovative program. So we also do things like this from time to time where we bring webinars about different topics that are going to help teachers to grow, help teachers to become better, help teachers to make more money. And is you you're free to join the community so that you can get more information about our future webinar series on any topic that of your choice. I wish everyone a good night rest. Mrs. Giwa, do you have anything to say? Are you still online before I round off? Hello, Mrs. Giwa. Is she around? Oh, okay. Mrs. Giwa, can you hear me? Hmm.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.